I believe, Ben, that one of the overarching barriers facing low-income people is that the economy does not work for the majority.
Yep.
I also believe bringing about economic change involves so much more than just shifting attitudes, but also involves crafting and implementing actual innovations that bring about economic change or shifting. Can you speak in the work that you're doing with others, how innovation, perhaps even disruptive innovation, can be a catalyst for economic change that benefits the community as a whole, but in particular low-income people?
Sure. I think and it's related to what we said earlier about leadership, but innovation is basically, it can come from everywhere and anywhere. And I think what we try to do is to support those innovators wherever they are, and to actually make sure that people get it, that it's actually not just the innovation comes from the top down, or that it only comes from the bottom up, but actually you want to support it from wherever it's coming, and you want it to be focused. Not that it's going to just trickle down to low-income people and people of color, but there's actually intentionality behind what you're trying to innovate towards and for what purpose. And so, for example, there's just a number of different things that we've done and seen that are really encouraging. One is actually we just launched this week and invited cities in the U.S. to apply, but it's an initiative called Racial Equity Here, and it's riding an emerging trend in U.S. cities where cities are willing to put, or interested, eager to put a racial equity lens on all of how it operates. And so they look at the Department of Parks and they're like, what do we have historical, institutional, or structural racism that is shown in the way that we run our parks, or the way that we collect revenue, or the ways that our housing and community development programs work. And it's sort of acknowledging that, again, we haven't made the strides we've needed to make, at least in our country, for hundreds of years. And we're going to have to work differently. So let's actually bring a different lens to the work, and not only say to kind of look at the data and tell us what it says, as my friend Jeff Edmondson from Strive Together would say, admire the problem, but move beyond the admiration and actually come up with a strategy for doing something about it, and then embedding it in future budgets so you actually fund the way government works to address the problems. Things of that nature. The other, there's a screen, on the screen is about our partnership with Bloomberg Philanthropies. And Bloomberg Philanthropies has been supporting this approach of helping cities build innovation delivery teams into the way they work. And they started in 5 cities where Bloomberg Philanthropies provided the city with some support to kind of staff up and train people on the way innovation happens. Not to tell them what you should apply it to, but to actually build the capacity to use innovation methodologies to solve whatever problem you're trying to solve. And so they started in 5 cities. All 5 of them at the end of the grant actually found the money, oftentimes from the city's own resources, to continue having people staff this work permanently. They've now expanded that work to 19 other cities in the U.S. and a couple in Israel. But what we're finding is that when you arm the employees with the tools to innovate and to challenge the status quo, they actually do it. And it's that kind of thing as you get a critical mass of people who are saying essentially, we can take the risk because we've created a culture where risk is encouraged, and even failure if you've learned from that failure. And then finally, I'd say the other thing is it's really critical to be able to redirect capital towards things that are going to improve the lives of low-income people and connect them to the economic mainstream. And I'm happy to talk about that a lot. So the emerging impact investor, new tools like Pay for Success and the like. But it's really, kind of blending private capital and public and even individual good.